Blog Talk Radio. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into Yvonne Luttrell's podcast. I am the host, Yvonne Luttrell. My co-host, SC, is with me today for Thoughtful Tuesday. SC, honey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are you? I'm good. I can't complain.
That's great. Well, I'm trying to turn my mic up. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so hey, how are you?
Good. Still a little worn out from the weekend, but I'm
Oh
good.
my
I can't
gosh.
complain.
Right. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. And we would like to apologize that we canceled Saturday's show at the last minute. SC was working on some project in Atlanta. I was drunk, drinking, and yeah. So, do you want to talk about whatever or?
Oh yeah, no, I just went out there. I tried to line some things up. You know, right now, um, there's a strike with the Actors Guild Association
Yes.
with writers and
Yes.
everything. So what I did was I went out there and tried to corner some things while the going was good, you know, and make some deals. And the deals came through. So once the strike goes off, you know, everybody calls it off. Everybody calls the truth, wave their white flag. Hopefully we'll get these projects off the ground. I can't wait. You know, I got a bunch of exciting projects coming up that I will be bringing special guests to the show. You know, just like the guest we have tonight. He's a long-time friend of mine, you know. We call him Cowboy. We never call him by his first and last name, but we just call him Cowboy. But for the sake of the show, we'll call him by the whole thing, you know. And he's been doing a lot of great things with a lot of different celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio and Mia St. James, the Hardy Boys and stuff, you know. But I'll let him tell his side of the story, you know. And I had a interesting meet and greet and an actual conversation with somebody from a legendary R&B group. Got to chop it up, talk, and everything, you know. And hopefully I can get him on the show. They're doing a lot of touring right now, you know. And I also got to talk to somebody that's a close good friend of DMX, and he said he'll come on the show. And we had some very interesting conversations about DMX, you know. Rest in peace, you know. I'm not going to bring him on the show to talk about the bad things. We're going to talk about some good times and some of his memories of him, you know.
Okay.
I got to see his obituary. Oh, my God, his obituary was like a catalog, you know. And I thought it was a book, actually, a catalog book or whatever. And when I asked him, I said, they selling this? So he was like, nah, that's his obituary. I said, oh, wow. He said, yeah, only close friends and family got it, you know. So I was like, wow, you know. So I sat there and looked at every page on it. I seen pictures of him as a kid and a whole bunch of other stuff, you know. And he shared some great memories, you know. So got to do some studio time. Was in the studio all day and up into the wee hours in the morning, you know, putting out some singles and some other stuff, you know. And hopefully all this striking with the WGA will be over soon, and I get to talk about some things and some projects, you know. But
Okay. I do want to say happy anniversary to my twin brother and his wife. Their anniversary was a few days ago. They have been married 26 years. So I want to say shout out to them, much love. It seems like, they're going nonstop. At this point, I don't think, nothing is going to stop them but death. And, so I'm rooting for them because, you know, um, in this day and time, a marriage don't last that long. So I definitely again want to say happy anniversary to them. And I don't know, maybe one day I can bring my brother and sisters on the show and they could talk about their marriages. Of course, I'm definitely not going to talk about my failed marriage that shouldn't have happened. So I shouldn't even brought that
Mm.
up. Bringing it up is just embarrassing. I'm embarrassing myself. So, yeah,
Your mic
but
is breaking up. Yvonne, your mic is
can you?
breaking up.
Is it breaking up bad?
Yeah, it was like choppy.
How is it now?
Just adjust. It sounds better,
Better
but that was only
or
a little bit.
okay?
Okay,
Wait. So how long was it bad?
it just started. It's
Okay,
like Digital Dragon.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But,
so yeah, so that's it. Again, happy anniversary to my twin brother and his wife again for 26 years. Congratulations. And yeah, so
okay, your mic is breaking up again. You
oh my
might have
gosh,
to.
you got to be kidding me.
Nope. Talked about me all that time. See, your turn. The universe paying you back.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Hold on. Am I still breaking up?
Yeah, a little crackly.
Hold on. Okay, well you could go ahead and talk. I'm just going to call into the show.
Okay.
Wait, what is
All
the
right.
show?
Well, the- would you like the show? Did you like the show number, Yvonne? To the Yvonne Latrell?
It's 563-999-3548. Again, the number to the
That's
show,
it.
563-999-3548. I'm just going to call and let myself in. Um, Hold on, let me.
I was gonna block the number. As soon as I see your number come out, I'm gonna block it.
Okay.
How would you feel?
Can you hear me good?
Say it again.
How do I sound now? I just let myself in.
You sound echoey, but turn that mic down or turn it off. And now just talk.
Okay, I turned it off.
Oh yeah, perfect. Much
Okay,
better.
good. Okay, great. It's always something with the mic. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Okay. Well, real quick before we get into anything else, I just want to say, guys and dolls, even though tax season is pretty much over, but if you are trying to work with someone, check out Tax Resource Center. Again, that's Tax Resource Center, and they have a website, taxresourcecenter.net. Again, that's www.taxresourcecenter.net. And also, Nicholas Sullivan, he has a book out. It's called Infatuated with the Streets. That's Nicholas Sullivan. And his book, Infatuated with the Street, is available on Amazon.com. And also, Randall Williams, he has some type of airplane invention. It's currently under construction, so be on the lookout for that. You guys and dolls will be updated more about that. Again, that's Randall Williams. He has a airplane invention, and right now everything is under construction. So tell you guys more about that later. Okay, and back to you, Bob.
Well, in other news.
In other news.
What do you think about the Chris Brown? I was trying to catch up on it because I was behind. I was not caught up in the loop about Chris Brown and Usher getting into a fight. It looked like there was an skate ring from the videos that I saw, you know. They said that Usher was jumped by Chris Brown and his crew, you know. Now, I'm going to tell you. Allegedly, yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I seen something about Chris Brown was he had some words with that girl. I think she's a singer, Taylor something. If I hear her name, I'll know it, but I don't know. But it was something about he was disrespecting her allegedly, and then Usher, I guess, tried to like calm him down, whatever. I don't know. So, well, yeah, you go ahead and tell your story. I just seen some stuff online. But okay, yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I don't, you know, like you said, allegedly that took place, you know, and it's just, you know, I just feel like, you know, when you make a certain amount of money, that should be the last thing on your mind is fighting, because all it's gonna cause is a lawsuit, and you're gonna wind up losing it. But then again, I don't know what the whole situation was. You know, somebody could have felt disrespected, and at some point in time, you know, you can't allow another man or a situation put you in a situation to feel disrespected. You know, but I just personally, and that's me speaking because I'm looking outside and, you know, about the situation. But I just would stay away, you know, like all these rappers, you know, you hear about the beef and everything, you know, and there's some people that I wouldn't mind working with, but I just don't do certain things, you know, like the playing and the, you know, it's cool, we could joke and everything else, but at some point in time, you know, I don't get down with the disrespect, and it just seems like some of them are known for it, you know, they're known for trolling on Facebook and everything else. And I don't do all that. I don't do the lip boxing. I don't, you know, I don't go back and forth on the Twitter and everything. And I have. I'm not going to say I haven't. I have when I was younger, you know, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the situation I feel right now. Could it be a situation where I feel like I do have to fight? Yeah, you know, anything is possible, but as it stands right now, I wouldn't do it, you know. And I'm not judging nobody, you know. Who am I to judge them because they sin differently than me? You know, that's my motto, you know. But in other news.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was just going. Okay, I was just going to say that our show for Saturday, it's because we did cancel last Saturday's show. This Saturday, it will be the same topic: HIV/AIDS. Do you know your status? So be on the lookout for our Sexy Saturday show at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah. So back to you, Bob. What were you going to say?
And, you know, that subject is usually not talked about much, you know, HIV/AIDS, because, you know, everybody else is caught up in the COVID-19 and everything. But AIDS is still a real thing. And some people are just, you know, playing craps. They're throwing their dick on the table, or their their vagina on the table, and, you know, and just hoping for the best, you know.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, that will be Saturday.
Yeah. You know, we'll talk about some things, and I'll say some things and mention some things.
Oh. Right. And I forgot the last time that we had the show, I forgot to talk about the movie, the George Foreman movie. It was really good. Oh my gosh. It's a must-see. If you have not seen it, go check it out. It's a really good movie. So that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil the movie for anyone that haven't seen it. And remember, I'm just now finding out that this man is a boxer, because I thought George Foreman was only a grill. So, like, even my mom knew. Like, I was telling her about the movie. So even she knew about it. Like, she knew he was a boxer. So all this time I'm just thinking George Foreman was just a grill. But it was a really good movie. A really good movie. Thanks a lot for laughing at me in my face. Thanks a lot, actually.
I couldn't help
We're
it
going
when
to
you
discuss
said the
this
George
later.
Foreman. I said, oh, she thought it was an hour and a half movie about a grill.
Well, when I was asked to go to the movies, I was just like, yeah, you talking about the George Foreman grill? And then he was like, no, a boxer. He's a boxer. So, yeah. Oh, my gosh. How embarrassing.
Oh,
I just keep on embarrassing myself. First, I'm talking about my marriage that should have never happened. Just a total embarrassment. And now I'm embarrassing myself about this grill. But, yeah. And other news.
That's why you don't get drunk and go to. That's why you don't get drunk and go to Vegas, because you never know who you wake up married to.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm going to be very careful with my next marriage. Now, I'm not going to diss my ex-husband. I'm not going to diss him. The marriage just should have never been. But my next marriage, I'm just going to be very careful. I'm going to move very differently. So
you're a brave one.
But yeah, definitely. I really am. But so what about, did you hear about the brother from California that drove 730 miles to Utah and killed his other brother?
Yeah, I did hear a little about it, ins and outs, and it's like, damn.
Everyone is crazy. We really need to probably do a show on maybe gun violence. The only thing I can say is it's getting worse. It's like no matter what, like no matter how many school shootings or whatever, it just does not stop. Like a few days ago, the shooting in Texas at the mall. Like, everybody is going mad. Everybody is crazy for no reason. This has nothing to do with COVID. People are just crazy, and that's it. I have no idea why they are crazy, but they are.
But I'm going to tell you, man, I think COVID did expose some things to people's mental health. That's why I said that, because
you keep saying about COVID, these people were already crazy.
No, I'm not saying they weren't. But think about this. The whole entire life, this was the first time outside was closed everywhere. People were going home. They were staying home with their family that they probably didn't care too much about. America, they wanted out of. The kids. Think about the kids that were being abused at home, and the only time and the only piece they get away from that abuse is in school, or they get to eat, And I think that was a big thing too, because they started doing the lunches and stuff at the schools for the kids. It's like, oh, the kids staying home, But then they was like, oh, let's give them food stamps and let's do this and let's do that, And I think it just created a bunch of rhetoric, I just think that it added on, Mental health starts from a trauma, from PTSD a lot of times. Some people might be mentally ill and don't realize it until something triggers it. And who's to say
but
that,
this is a lot of triggers, so these people are just crazy for no reason. I hear you.
You're not in everybody's household. I just know that, some things that I don't care for, some things I care for, and, that's what makes the world go round, because we all think differently.
Okay, but
I heard this.
Okay, right. I agree. Okay, yeah, I agree with that statement that you just made. But look at the guy in Atlanta who killed he shot like 5 girls and one of them died. I don't remember. I know the last time I had seen it, it was like one person had died, and there was a few in critical condition. So I never did get an update on what else happened. But so his mom said that he had been trying to get help or whatever, but this is how I see it. Like, yeah, he could have been mental, but he shot these people that he know he had no business shooting, and then he's running and hiding. He have sense enough to run and hide. So why did you shoot them if you're about to run and hide? I don't know. Part is goddamn. I don't know. It's just always another crazy story.
Well, that doesn't, just because a person has a mental issue or
It's not a reason to go
um,
shooting people.
I'm not saying it is. I never said it was. I never said it was. But you don't know what that person's final straw was. You
Everybody
don't know what that
has
person's final straw.
okay, all of
Mhm.
us have a little craziness in us. Everybody can be crazy.
Yes.
Everybody is
Yes.
capable of murder. But I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I've had things happen to me. I've been sad. I've been angry and hurt and everything. But I don't want to go kill nobody. Oh, it's just
And
oh
that's
my
your
gosh.
thought process. It's your thought process.
And that
You
should be
know,
everyone's thought process because nobody has the right to go taking anyone's life. If you're mad, if you're mental, if you're that mental and you want to go around killing, just start with yourself and just leave it at that. I'm not telling anybody to commit suicide, but I am telling you if you feel like you want to go into a building and shoot up a bunch of people, just start with your own self. If you can't get any help, don't go taking the innocent lives of these innocent children and people at the grocery store and at the mall and at the movie and at the church. Like, no, it needs to stop.
well, this country is built off of do as
Crazy.
I say, not as I do. So you think about it. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate for a second. How
Mm-hmm.
many times the government has killed somebody to show that killing is wrong? How many times they either executed the wrong person? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that is great as, but it's a comparison too. You understand what I'm saying? So this country is built off of mental illness. Because think about it, man. The Indians, the land was taken from them. What made them think that it was right to do it? You understand what I'm saying? So and I'm not saying it's equal to. I'm just saying a comparison of. Like. It just a lot of stuff ain't right, but it's gonna always be, We'll never have a moment where we're not gonna have an issue, we're not gonna have a situation, because that's just how the world goes. And then you think about it, the news eggs it on more, because they report it and they report what they want to report. They set it up so you can see certain things that'll trigger people. I think the country and the world is just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Let's talk about the veterans. The situation with them. They've served this country, and so many of them are homeless or suffer from mental illness. You see some of them do suicide by cop. They'll do something so that they can get killed, because they're tired of living in the demons inside their mind. And it's just crazy, it's the world is just it's a lot of things going on that don't make sense, but it doesn't make sense to us, but it's a big deal to somebody else. And I'm not saying that, what they did was right, I'm just saying it made sense to them at the time that they're doing it, so I just, my thoughts and prayers go out to the victims. I think it was 9 dead and 3 critically injured, and one of the 9 was the actual shooter himself.
It's a victim every day. Like, like I said, even with the guy that drove to his brother's house, killed his brother. He tried to kill the wife. Thank God that she did survive, and he had a shootout with the cops, and he's dead like he should be because, I mean, I don't know what the hell was he thinking. Like, you think you're going to kill your brother and his wife and blow up the house and get away? Somebody had called 911, one of the neighbors, as they should have. And I think that is the best thing to do if you hear any gunshots, because you just never know what's going on in the house next door. You just never know.
Yeah. I just think that we live in a world of cluelessness. That a lot of times things are overlooked. You understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes people show signs before they even do things, and we're so used to everybody being the mind for the mind of your own business. Because from when I grew up, I'm originally from New York, and we mind our business. We don't get involved in nobody else's business. You don't even know your neighbor. You could live on that block 20 years, and you probably don't even know your neighbor's name. You know them by sight. You say, hey, every once in a while, but that's about it. I didn't know none of my neighbors. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is where it changes, though. If you grew up in, like, the projects or everything, of course, y'all know each other. Y'all go to school with each other. Y'all play with each other. Those are the only kids you know. But, like, when you live in a house setting or whatever, a lot of times you don't know your neighbor. You know, you stay to yourself. You mind your business, you know, and our heads are always on a swivel. Our heads are so much on a swivel, we'll look like a damn owl, you know, and we know you're bound to see anything in New York. You've been on the subway, you're bound to see anything. So everything is suspicious to us, you know what I'm saying? And I think we just live in a world that people are clueless, people, you know, they got into the mindset of minding their own business, and they're not aware, you know, especially the kids, you know, when you get the school shootings. And teachers, I'm not saying that they should, because I have a bunch of friends that are teachers and everything, and sometimes they be like, well, we didn't know the kid was having problems, or how do you know the kid will hide it, or whatever. You know, a lot of times when I was growing up, the guidance counselor always took us out of the class and brought us in their room or whatever, and they would talk to us, and it would be a group of us or whatever, you know. And I don't know if they're still doing that in the schools. And a lot of times, you know, a friend or somebody would say, yo, such and such is fighting with this person, or they arguing with this person, you know, but these kids are so closed where they won't even talk about certain things anymore, you know. So it's like you damn if you do and damn if you don't. You know, but I don't know. It's not gonna. I don't see any pot of gold on the end of this rainbow. It's just gonna get worse, or something else that's gonna happen. It's gonna be worse than the last thing. You know. But just hope and pray that nobody, you know, and you all you can do is hope and pray that nobody you know get caught up in a situation like that. But I believe in 6 degrees of separation. Somebody that you know knows somebody that you know, or they're connected to you somehow, you know. And the best example of that, you go on Facebook and you click on a couple of friends, and you see a couple of friends that you have in common. Then you say, hey, how do you know sister? Oh, that's my friend, or that's my cousin, or you understand what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, you know. But hopefully we won't have to report something else crazy, but I'm pretty sure we will. But in other news.
Okay, well, yes, in other news, I'm really super excited about our guest that's coming on the show today for Thoughtful Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. This brother is a good dude to know. He, well, we'll get into the interview and everything, like I said.
Okay, I can let him in now.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
No. Yeah, you can let him in.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Cowboy.
Yo, brother, what's good?
You good, my brother. You good. How's life treating you, man?
Hey, man, I can't complain, brother.
Yeah.
Everything is lovely.
Yeah. Glad I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I've been watching some of the things you've been doing on that range, putting them holes through those targets. But you got a good instructor. We need to bring Rockwell on the show too one day. You know.
Yeah, no doubt.
Rockwell is a mutual friend of ours. That he was a Marine sniper. And well, you know, I could tell Cowboy story. I'm gonna let Cowboy tell his story. you know. You know. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. You know, you've been doing a lot of big things, and you was away for a minute in California doing your thing. You know, and we gotta definitely, cause you gotta tell me some more stories about that overnight with you and the Marcel Barbie dog.
Oh man,
that warehouse, you know. But listen, let me get into the questioning, you know.
Okay.
If you don't mind. So my first question to you is, how did you get started?
Well, after I did my law enforcement tour and everything, man, I started working for United Airlines as a ground security coordinator. And, you know, I actually started in nightclubs, though. But then once I started wanting more, I said, this ain't, you know, this is just something, a stepping stone. When I started working for United, I ran into Mia. And I never worked that late hours. And I ran into Mia one night coming up Delta. And I noticed I just seen females where I didn't see any bodyguards, whatever, and I introduced myself to her. And that's how I got started, bro. You know, like I said, it was first in the nightclub. Like I said, I wanted more. And then I started doing the bodyguard thing back in 91.
Okay. So, hold on one second. My thing just closed out. I'm sorry, man. Forgive me. Okay, so how does one become a bodyguard, you know?
Good question. You know, bodyguards are actually not hired, brother. They're chosen. If you look at most of the celebrities, matter of fact, let's use Kevin Hart for an example. Every bodyguard around him, every security around him is his boys he grew up with. Because being a bodyguard, you can see something and you don't see it, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So they're actually they're not hired, they're chosen.
Okay. So what training have you had to get, you know, this far into the game?
What now?
What training have you had to get this far into the game?
Oh, well, man, let's see. I've got BLET training, basic law enforcement training. I have martial arts training. We've done multiple security training. We've done executive protection training. That's taught by law enforcement and sheriff departments. Others are trained by special forces. It's just like when you're doing I'll use Secret Service for an example. You know, it's an expense training you have to go through, and it's a class you got to go through to become a bodyguard. You know, anybody can come to security, but it's a training regiment you have to go through to get into bodyguard classes.
Okay. What training have you done? Like, excuse me. How long have you? Let me get my thought together. How often do you train? That's the question I need to ask.
Okay.
How often do you train? Because
in the security aspect, I train. I have to go do my credentials every 2 years, but my martial arts training is every day. My shooting training is every 3 days. Well, every week is every week. And then anything else like that, also do corporate security as well to keep up on my training and keep all my credentials up.
Okay. How often who are your main clients that you've had in the past or that you're working for now?
Still Mia. She's still my main client, even though she retired from boxing, and Paris Hilton.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you a question because you made comment to it before about, everybody can be a security, but not everybody can be executive, So what's the difference between security, executives, protection, and bodyguard work?
Okay. Security, you're hired by like a company, or you hired by an individual, let's say a club or a bar. The owner is, or the GM hired you individually. That's security. Executive protection is like, let's say the Hilton Hotel, okay? And that's your prime residence. You have to protect that building. That's executive protection. Everybody coming in that building is like a CEO or somebody. That's your main job. You have to protect every CEO, every big name celebrity or whatever coming in that spot. That's executive. Okay, those are hired. Okay. Bodyguards are with the client 24/7. They might just like this, like with the Hiltons, they got a guest house behind the big house. And security, if they're doing a big event, security stays there. That's a bodyguard. You with them 24/7. But they chose you because they could trust you, and you've been with them, and you've done so much, and you've earned their trust, and you see how the loyalty lies with them.
Okay. So I can only assume that you enjoy your job, or is that an assumption?
I love it. I promise. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world.
Okay. How often do you travel?
Well, I travel every week. Every week I'm gone. And I live out of a suitcase, brother. I live out of a suitcase. Sometimes, especially when, let's say this, when award season is the worst. Well, I wouldn't say the worst. It's the best because, you're traveling a lot. And you got celebrities going here. You got celebrities going there, And now, to be honest with you, my business card is useless because now it's word of mouth. If Mia calls me and Mia, we stay in contact with each other every day, or every week. We'll text or whatever. If she calls me, I know for a fact that I'm about to get ready to go somewhere. Or another celebrity about to call me. She'll say, hey, listen, such and such is going to call you. I gave him your number. I told him your fee was, and I'm giving you the heads up. Anytime she called my phone, I know somebody else about to call me.
Okay. Now, what advice would you give somebody if they wanted to be a bodyguard?
Don't look at it for the money. The money is great, but don't look at it for the money because that's when you start getting blind. And that's when you start dropping the ball and doing what you're supposed to do. Get in it if that's what you love to do. If that's a passion. That's always been a passion for me. I don't know why, to be honest with you. Law enforcement and security and bodyguard has always been a passion for me from day one, even when I was in junior high. But don't do it for the money. Do it for the passion. Do it for if you like what you do, I tell you, it's you're gonna love getting up, getting dressed, and going to work. It's not gonna never be a day you say, "Oh man, I hate this job. Oh, I got to get up and go to work." No, I've never felt like that. Never. So don't just get in for the passion. Don't get in for the money. The money's good though.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever lost a close friend that was a celebrity?
Absolutely, man. Lost my boy Christoph, and I started working with Mia, like I said, in 1991. I met Christoph in 92. And Christoph said something to me, man. I still have this text to this day when I first met him. And this is when his kids were small, brother. And he said, I finally got to meet the man behind the name. And everybody in L.A. knows me as Ralph. Everybody in the West Coast. Everybody in the East Coast know me by Cowboy. But anyway, he said, I finally got to see the name, the face with the name. He said, I appreciate you looking after my ex-wife, my best friend, and my kids. He said, you're not just her bodyguard, your family, brother. That touched me. He told me that. We've been tight ever since. I got his personal number still in my phone. Never took it out, and I'm not going to take it out. He told me, if you ever need anything, use my number. I got so many contacts like that. But that was a true, what y'all seen on TV with him, that was really him. He was a passionate guy.
Yeah.
Great guy, man. When I got that call, man, I thought I was dreaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that was hard hitting, because I think you had a picture of you and him on your page for a while. You know?
Yeah.
And I said, damn, you know. I know I remember when when you were doing the security for the Hardys, and I met Matt and MVP at a what was it, Denny's, I think it was.
Okay.
And I was with Free, me and Free, and this was when Kimbo Slice was still alive. So
okay,
MVP was talking crazy to me, right? So then he was like, yo, big man, he said, why don't you do a fight with my boy Kimbo? So me and Free was talking trash to him. So then I said, yo, Matt, I said, I know you know Cowboy. He said, oh, Ralph. And so I laughed. He's like, yeah, that's my man, yo. He said, yo, we'll set the fight up. We'll set the fight up. You know, he's like, yo, we'll set the fight up. He said, you know, Ralph, he said, yo, we can set the fight up. You want to set the fight up?
Yeah.
You know, but, yeah, man. I had some, me and you personally have had some great times together. We've worked with a couple of people together, you know. And I have one, we ain't got to say her name. One night we was working this party, and she was on, okay, I'll say a couple of people that was there. Jason Weaver was there, and I had Maya that night.
Yeah, Maya.
And Cowboy had somebody else, I'm not going to say her name, and she turned Hollywood on us. Boy, Cowboy cursed her slam out. I said, oh, my God, we lost the contract. And then she was Cowboy's best friend for the rest of his life.
You want me to tell you something funny?
What's that?
I'm going to tell you. I ran into her last year at Sunset Tower Hotel in Hollywood, bro.
Uh-huh.
I showed her the pictures, right?
Uh-huh.
She stood up and gave me the biggest hug. She said, oh, my God, can I see those pictures? And she said, this seems like forever. She said, you kept these? I said, oh, yeah, all these is in my scrapbook, She said, these ain't going nowhere. She gave me the biggest hug. I started laughing because the first person I thought about was you.
I said, oh, my God, we lost the contract. I said, Cowboy, you got to let this woman say what you got. Yvonne, I'll tell you more about that story. That story was hilarious, you know. But with all that's happened, Cowboy, you know, with everything, you know, the different celebrities, the different places you've been or whatever, do you think you would ever sit down and write a book?
I would not. And I'll tell you the reason why, man. I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot. And these celebrities and these people that everybody see on TV or hear on the radio, man, they trusted me. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't see myself trying to cash out some money because they trusted me. And for Mia and her family and Paris and to trust me, and for Mia to say and Christoph and say that I was family, I could never do that, bro. Yeah. And everybody always asks, would you ever write a book? No, I can't do it. All money ain't good money. So, no.
Yeah. I totally agree. Now I know the answer to this next question, but I'm going to ask and see if you're going to be honest. Okay. So, as a bodyguard, have you ever had to put your hands on someone?
Well, to be honest with you, I only had to do it twice, though. I only had to do it twice.
Okay. twice that somebody could have been recording, or just twice in general?
Hey, listen. The first one, no. The second one got recorded.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm gonna tell you, the first one we was in Texas, we was in Dallas, and this guy wanted. This was before Mia retired, and this guy kept wanting pictures with Mia. Mia took pictures. He wanted an autograph. Mia did the autograph. She even gave him a Playboy book. She even signed everything. And so him and his friend, his buddy, kept following us. We got in the elevator. They jumped in the elevator with us. So I grabbed both of them by the neck, and I jumped out of the elevator. But good thing about it, Dallas police was still in the lobby. And they came over, and I told them what happened. So they arrested the guys for trespassing and all like that. That was the first time. Now, the second time was like 3 or 4 years ago, right? We were doing a big event at the Hiltons, right? They was doing their anniversary. Man, wasn't nothing but millionaires there, okay? So I'll never forget this. This one guy was getting all intoxicated, whatever. I was ready to put him out. But Mr. Hilton told me no because he knew Paris. So, okay, I let it go. So Paris' brother went to the dad after he broke one of the expensive wine bottles. It was like $3,000, right? So her brother said something to the dad. The dad came by me like this, bro. This was funny. He said, take him out. Man, I grabbed that dude. And then mind you, it one but 3 floors. We got on the elevator, one but 3 floors, right? I tossed him out. We was in Beverly Hills. I tossed him in the street. No lie. By the time I came back upstairs, Paris said, hey, Ralph, damn, you throttled this dude and showed me the video on her phone that somebody sent to her.
So there's a TMZ out there. That's what you're saying.
Bruh, listen, I don't know. Actually, I don't know how they did it. It was only 3 floors. It didn't last 5 minutes. By the time I threw him in the street and came back upstairs, she called me over there and showed me the video. She said, look what somebody just sent me. What?
Oh, man. All right. So my next question to you, Cowboy, is what's the scariest moment you've had doing bodyguard work? And then I'm going to ask, what's the scariest moment you had doing executive training?
The scariest moment, let me think. I would say when we had like Holly Berry and all them doing the red carpet, and you get all the fans trying to rush. And there's only a barrier up there. You know, you can push those barriers down. Alicia Keys was there. Holly Berry was there. Denzel, everybody was there. This was at Sunset Towers, and everybody. The scariest moment when everybody kept trying to rush that barrier, and I kept seeing it sway in. I mean, we got everybody out, but that was scary because it could have went left easy. It could have because everybody was sitting right there in the front, and if they'd have came in there, I mean, I could have got my client out, but that ain't the point. I mean, she could have got injured or something, but that was scary.
Yeah. Okay. What's the most scariest moment in executive training? Because a lot of people. Okay, so I'm gonna try to explain to everybody a little about it. Executive training deals with a lot of fast-paced decision making. You draw your weapon. You might have a malfunction if you don't know how to either holster your weapon or address the issue. You might have to go hands-on. And when you go hands-on, you don't know if that person has a weapon or whatever. So what's your most scariest moment in executive training?
Okay. You want to know the scary moment in training, or you want to know what I did when I was doing executive protection in California? I can tell you that one. Now, the scariest moment.
You can tell both.
The dude jumped on our maitre d'. Okay? And they came and got me. And the dude didn't look like he was no threat. He came in with a suit. He looked like a normal guy. And evidently he didn't like what the maitre d' said, and he punched our maitre d'. Maitre d' had a big bruise. So I grabbed the guy, and we was tussling. And this is the funny thing. It was crowded in there, and the people never moved, right? I'm tossing this guy all on the table. He throwing $100 bills all over the place. Still nobody moved. I grabbed him. I got him in a rear naked choke. And I'm looking like this, and then I see 4 red dots. LAPD come in. They then drew their weapons, so I had to roll off with it so they wouldn't shoot me with it. At the end of when all this done, I did my report. And I'm asking these guys why they didn't move. No lie, I cannot make this up. They said, "Oh, we thought y'all was filming a movie. That's why they didn't move." This is doing the executive session. I'm dead ass serious. And I'm looking at, because I asked
what we
myself,
talked about earlier. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. No, I said that's what we were talking about earlier. I said people are clueless nowadays.
Yeah. They sit there and say, "Oh, we thought y'all was filming a movie. That's why we thought we was an extra." What? This is real life fighting now. And the scariest training is when we were doing shooting training and the AR blew up. Yeah, it blew up. Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as I pulled the trigger, that trigger blew up.
Okay, my next question, I'm glad you said that, because my next question is, what is your weapon of choice, and what weapons have you trained with? As far as, I know you've done some nice stuff, but I'm talking about, like, firearms.
My firearm, the one I carry now is my Glock, my Glock 21. It's a 45. I'm also trained with Canic. I just bought a new Canic Rival. And I also have, that's a 9mm. I got a Glock 19, Glock 21. I like to keep my 45. My 45 is my duty weapon, and my new Canic is my secondary weapon. So I keep a 45 and a 9 with me at all times. And in my trunk, I keep my 2 ARs, my 5.56s.
Okay. Now, are celebrities, my next question would be, because somebody's probably listening to this and be like, wow, that sounds exciting. I want to do that, in your past, are celebrities easy to work with or work for?
Good question. It all depends on who you work with. But here's the deal. If you stay out of their way and stay out of their conversation and just do what you're supposed to do, they're so easy to work with and work for. They will bring you in, and there is nothing. You'll be just like with Mia. They'll call your family. I stay out of their business, because that's none of my business. My business is get you to and from. All right? So I tell you this, rest in peace to my boy Roger. I took him and Gordy with me to New Mexico when Mia was fighting in New Mexico. And this is what I told him. I said, y'all can talk to Mia. We can laugh it up when we go to dinner. I said, but the night of the fight and during weigh-in, I said, do not bother her because she's getting focused, right? So we on our way to the arena. I'm sitting beside Mia. Roger and Gordon in the back of the limo. She had her earpieces in, listening to music, getting herself straight. Man, Roger tapped her on the shoulder and said, "Hey, Mia, are there any police helicopters in Albuquerque?" Bro, man, I turned around and stared a hole in him, bro. Gordon said, "You know what? You know the N word." Didn't he say? He said, "Man, what's up?" Man, yeah, he did that, man. He did that, bro. Is there any police helicopter in Albuquerque? What?
If people are unaware, when you go to fights and stuff, the fighters, when you get them ready for the fight, you can't bother them. You can't talk about taking pictures or whatever because their mind is on the fight. You don't need no distractions or anything. So a lot of people don't know that, and if they do, they lose track of it because they're so caught up into the moment, you know. And I have a couple of stories like that too, you know. You know, and it's just people not knowing, you know. You be like, you don't interrupt a fighter when he's getting ready because he's zoning. He or she is zoning,
Exactly.
and you don't want to break that zone, you know.
Correct. But to finish answering that question, it all depends on who you work with, and just mind your business. Once you mind your business, I promise you they're easy because you do what you're supposed to do and you get out. You know, no extra. You know, I don't sit there. I've never asked for autographs. I never asked for pictures. When you do see pictures, they always say, like Lionel Richie called me the house. He said, man, you big as a house. Mm-hmm. You know, he said, hey, I want the house to take a picture with me. I'm always going to say yes, but I would never initiate that. So, like I said, I stay in my lane.
Yeah. And you know, it's crazy, and that's the difference between security and bodyguard work. Because a lot of times when you do security, you ask for the picture because that you'll probably never see that person again, or you want to show people like, hey, this I did security with or whatever. So I had to learn that too with that. You know, I've done some security before, and I've done some executive stuff. I've done some bodyguard stuff on some one-on-one. Yeah. You know, so I know I learned the difference, and there is a difference, you know, and
correct.
He's right, because I remember me and Big Chris, we did security for what's his name? Oh man, Dougie Fresh, and he looked at Chris, and he's like, man, how tall are you? And Chris says 7'1". He's like, Jesus Christ. He says, your knees hurt, don't you know? And he's like, yo, can I take a picture with y'all? You know? And I was like, okay, so you could tell the difference, you know, and it was no thing of us being like, yo, can we get this picture, whatever. You know, he was willing, and he was like, yo, I'm going to take a picture with you or whatever, you know. But, man,
I
Cowboy,
have to say this,
listen.
Man.
Yeah.
I have to say this, man. I've always been a Dolph Lundgren fan, right? When I met him in L.A., man, he came to me. Now, he's 6'5". I'm only 6'4". He's 6'5". Big dude. He came to me and he said, hey, big guy, how are you? You know, we started chopping it up. We became friends, man. He introduced me to his daughters. He was walking to the bathroom one time and told his two daughters, stay right here. He said, can you watch them for me? Bro, to have somebody in that stature and that level, right, and to trust his family with you, man, bro, I mean, yeah. So that picture you seen with me and him, he said, hey, man, let's take a picture together. Man, that meant a lot to me, brother.
Okay. Now, this is another question, because, you know, everybody watches movies, and they be like, I wonder if, you know, The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, that really happened. So, have you ever had any of the female celebrities or their daughters try to get your number?
Yes. And
you ain't got to say no names.
Right,
you ain't got to say no names.
I ain't going to say no names. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, man, these celebrities, these female celebrities are so laid back. And the way they talk, though, I ain't going to say no names. It was 4 ladies who were very well-known actresses, right? Mm-hmm. Walking out. So I'm standing there, make sure nobody, no TMZ, nobody come up and bother them because they were just finished eating dinner. I'm standing right there. They started talking about lady bits, right? I walked away. No lie, I walked away. You know what they said? Where the fuck you going?
What?
They said, oh, you act like you ain't never heard about before. But in my mind, they don't talk like that. You feel me? But
yeah.
They kept talking about lady bits. I walked away and they said, where the fuck you going?
Cowboy, man, I appreciate
you. You'll be surprised.
No. I know, my brother. I know. You know, Cowboy, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. And thank you for sharing your stories with us. You know, we definitely got to get you back. How is the So I got another question before you get off. How is the strike with everything affected you?
With the what?
With the actors with the actors on the WGA striking and everything. How has that affected you, or has it?
Well, it really don't, man, because most of them, they don't go out like, okay, you know how people go out like every weekend or every day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go out like that. So when they do go out, if they do an event or they do let's say they did a podcast and they had to go in, or they did a radio interview or something, they'll call me. Stuff like that really don't affect me because it's not they're not in the midst of everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't, and I have to, before I go, man, I'm going to have to give a shout out to a couple of people that actually helped me with this, you know. I'm going to have to give a shout out to the St. John, Mia St. John and her family. Mr. Jeff Klein, who owns Sunset Tower Hotel, who's, man, I'm telling you, he gave me a great break in everything, man. Kathy Hilton, Paris Hilton mom, of course. And I got to give out my shout out to my boy Rottweiler, 610 Tactical, who's helping me get in because he's a sergeant major and we're training with special forces. So he's keeping me on my toes. So I had to give those guys a shout out.
Yeah. And if somebody, I got another question. If somebody wanted to hire you for personal executive work, because you'd be surprised on how many business, you know, and I'm talking to the people that's listening, you'd be surprised on how many businessmen use executive security.
Yeah.
You know, so if do you have any contact information for anybody that's listening that needs you, or?
Yeah, I can give them my North Carolina number and my California number.
All right.
So whenever you're ready, I can shoot it to you.
Oh yeah. If you want to say it on the air, or you want me to, you know?
Yeah, I can say it on the air right now. My North Carolina number, it is 336-929-1303. My LA number is 818-968-3640. So they can call me either one, or they can contact me, call, text. These phones stay on 24/7. I never turn them off. So.
All right. Again, Cowboy, I appreciate you, man, and I do apologize because we do normally end the show with giving you your contact information. I do apologize for that, man.
We all good, brother, and I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, we definitely gonna bring you back. Definitely gonna bring you back.
Yes,
because I know you got a huge project coming out. And
Thank you, my lady.
You and a couple of other people, you know, because I got a couple of other people that's doing big things right now that was on the show previously, and they did the projects or whatever, and I want to bring them back on the show to talk about the project. So you definitely, I know you got something huge going to come up, and I think you're going to have to wait more so when this strike and everything is over to, you know, really we talk about it. You know, hopefully we can bring you back and we talk about it, or you can just give us some new updates on what's going on in the executive world, the security world, the bodyguard world. You know?
Absolutely, brother.
So, all right, man. Appreciate you again, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we want to thank everyone so much for tuning in to the show, and that does it for us. Again, thanks for tuning in, and join us on Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.